Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. I don't know. We don't know if it's an update with the software
Yeah,
or
it's weird. The
I
it's
don't know if
it's
you
way off.
guys, yeah, it looks like the screen is steamy. I mean, I know things got hot in here this morning to release a little tension going on and never mind. So anyways, but the screen looks like it's fogged up. Could just be it's hot.
Right.
What do you think? All right, good morning guys.
Good morning, magandang umaga, masanting abak, maayong buntag sa tanan. How are you guys doing today?
Guys, we have some major updates. We're going to bring in an edited and video of a 4-hour live stream that revealed a lot about Elliot Eastman and his family tension, business problems. Um, and the live today is mostly going to be about updates, what's been going on. But most of all, for the expats that are living here in the Philippines, we've said it time and time again. It's not always paradise here. Too many come here based on seeing YouTube videos, TikToks, and they see this country that's nice to vacation. It really is nice to vacation. But as far as when you go to live here long term, things are much different. It is. It's much different. So it's not always paradise. For Elliot, there was family problems, and this is something that they're not talking about, but it's evident in the videos. We had found out that his wife has at least six Facebook accounts that have been actually found, and a new one was found yesterday. So we do have their wedding video, which is in public. Elliot is still missing, and there have been even more updates since one that we seen yesterday where they had another person. So a lot of the newspapers and television stations can be behind by a day or two. So, okay, they have another person. So I think where are they at? 6 or 7 people now?
Yeah.
All right. But we have even more news this morning that there is appears to be a young witness. Okay, which at the end of the clip that we're going to show you, I don't know. There's a lot of there is a lot of speculation. There's a lot of chatter out there, and we're not talking one place. We're talking about everywhere. We've received all kinds of emails, messages in regards to this, and so at least 6 or 7 times or more, he said that I'm going to be kidnapped. I'm going to be taken. He just kept repeating this over and over and over again. So, what we will do is we're going to play the clips that we have. All right. And so it's going to kind of play through once we get through all of this. And this is for somewhat a play by play situation of what's been going on for those that don't know about the missing American 26-year-old disappeared on October 17th. We did find a date where he was married. So he's been married almost a year. He was married November the 8th or 9th. I'll have to see. It's actually in the video. So he's been married almost a year. And it was an Islamic marriage, and it was done inside the house with like her sister. There, I didn't see any mom present unless her dad is possibly.
Possible.
It's possible, but it appears to just be a family wedding. But it was a very strange, awkward moment. There's going to be a lot of strange and awkward moments, like last night with George and the cats. So there's going to be a lot of awkward stuff, a little bit of sensitive stuff, only because there is a lot of family tension, and so I'm just like forewarning you guys in advance. For those that want to see further photos, we have sent them to some of our members. We can't put the photos up, and the newest thing that we have today is that she has spoken to GMA and made a statement. So this is the first statement. So this is also breaking. And for those doubters, haters, and those that don't understand, we will keep doing this coverage to keep his name alive. He's still a human being. He's still an American. And we've had like 3 people that have made statements that, oh, you're going to cover it again? Yes, we're going to cover it again. So And when there are more major updates, because we've been gathering this for a few days, then we will cover it again. Okay. When there's not that news to cover, then we will go on and talk about George's hair, his hat, anything else, my hair and hat, who knows? So, all right. So we're going to go in right now and start the clip. Then we will go through the comments, and then we will open up the panel for our members, regulars, and those that have been vetted on the channel. There is a way to see that you guys are, and those will be the only people we will open the panel up to. We've been doing it for months. So we will open the panel today for people to come in and say what's really going on. That's all I can say is what's really going on. And maybe we will get I don't know, maybe we'll get something going. You know what? If we sent you down there, maybe you could take care of business.
What?
Yeah.
No, send Heidi over there. She'll get it done. Just saying.
How am I going to do that?
All they have to do is like send Heidi to where the suspects are being held, and just let her sit there and tell her story.
Maybe nag you to death. I'll turn a little bit slower.
Not me. I'm not one of the suspects.
Maybe so.
Make her stop. Make her stop.
Not really. I had a few ideas of what I would do at this point if I had all 6 or 8 or 10 suspects they had. That's for sure. I don't know why they don't have some needle nose pliers. And
just to let you guys know, you can't stop this train. Just saying.
I'll tell you what I would be doing. But here's the thing. I talked to George about that. I said, why aren't they applying some of these tactics that have been used forever and ever and ever? You know, and George says, what makes you think they're not? And I'm like, dang, why aren't they? So I don't get it. And why he's not, why something, I don't get it.
Right?
I don't so. Yeah, and like I said, then we'll get into the comments and well, got to pause it because I have to read it. Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to get in here. We're behind today, so. All right, so there is an article out that just came out. There's been several of them that just come out in the last 24 hours, and these are this morning. It said in the article, that was the very first one that came out. So I guess we're going by the latest, and this will pertain to later, okay? Because we have footage of him, and this was a video later we'll go through. There was 17 days before he disappeared, and he spills like family tea all over the place. Problems with sisters. There's all kinds of things, but I know one thing, there's a lot of kids around. So it says the child of the principal suspect shared to authorities how the perpetrators and kidnapped American vlogger Elliot Eastman in Cebuco, Zamboanga Del Norte, the Philippines National Police said on Monday. So there's a child of a principal suspect. Okay. I'm assuming they're going to translate the next part. And then the translation you see in Tagalog is the child of one of the principal suspects has provided information as the allegedly what transpired from the time Eastman was abducted from the house, okay, until the time he was transported using a motorized vehicle. And when I hear that statement, the first thing that goes through my head, huh? Are you saying it's ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, would wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right, but I can't. I mean, I guess I can read from the tablet. Okay. We're trying to upload another clip. It's not going to disturb the camera and all of that.
They won't see it.
Okay, that's fine.
That's why.
Okay, I can read from the tablet.
Yeah, it'll show there.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure something out. Is it going to cover
Oh
this?
yeah. No. It's not. Never mind.
It's not. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is a live stream, so this is not pre-recorded. So it says the child of the principal suspect has provided information as the allegedly what transpired from the time he was taken to when he was taken to the car. To me, that indicates beings that happened at 10. And I don't think it happened between 10 and 11 because we have photos from the crime and it actually shows that that's when they took photos. That's when the police were there. It showed 11 p.m. And Jessica Soho, that is a big news broadcaster here, had shown one of those photos, and it shows time frame of the photos taken at 11 o'clock. So I think it happened early on. It was probably dark, but to me that indicates, being that's a small area on the beach and it's family that lives nearby, then somebody's kid seen this, which means what are they doing up? I don't know if they were up. Sounds what many people have been saying, and understand it's all unsubstantiated. They've said in the newspaper, they're still working on the case. Here's my deal. There have been several reports that the family was involved, and we're like, yeah, how can this be? Okay. And others have said that the sisters and the wife has been taken back in to be questioned. The family has been questioned. FBI has been down there. I'm just saying, if there was a child around at that time, that was extremely odd. You got your glasses on there, babe.
Well, I'm looking for your browser.
What browser?
There it is. It's on a different page.
You're looking really cute there. I was trying to take you out of the scene there. All right, so I can't. 1 second, guys. We're trying to get this video uploaded. That I don't have anything else to read.
Oh, well.
It's all right.
Do you want
Can you just please get on with it? You've already disturbed the live.
What? I'm not disturbing anything. I'm just.
I know.
You want me to play the clip, or you want to keep reading?
Well, I can come back to it, but that's a 3-page part to the story that I'm already in the middle of.
Yeah, read it.
All right, I already read it. I need you to move on. Jeez. The child of the principal suspect for authorities. How I needed a pause. Was that?
That is on pause.
All right. However, this is still subject to validation. As I said, it appears that the information was only told to the child by one of the suspects, which who knows? So the validation is still ongoing. Among the information provided by the principal suspect's child was that the boat has been repainted with a different color to avoid authorities from tracking the suspects. So this was told by the actual police. I see if there was anything further on this article itself. All right. So if you want to, at this point, before we go into this next article, we can play the latest news clip.
Okay, here's the latest news clip. This is from this morning.
Tana sa mga otoridad ang hanap ng pangunahing suspect sa pagdukot sa American vlogger na si Elliot Eastman. Ayon kay Police Brigadier General Jean Pajardo ng Philippine National Police.
Nito, pinupirma ni General Pajardo na wala pang natatanggap na proof of life o ransom demand ang pamilya ng biktima. So, ongoing po yung validation to confirm the revelation made by the isa sa principal suspect po, including the possible na pati yung bangka ay pinalitan ng pintura to avoid death. Naalala niyo po, white na motorized bangka po yung ginamit. So, bine-verify po ngayon yan ng joint task force po na task group po ng BNB ng NAFP po.
Now, that's it. It's over. Now the
Well, you have to remove it from this.
yeah, I'm on the wrong screen. Keep in mind, she did say that they probably see. That's the thing. They said it's possible that they changed the paint of the boat.
Well, here they said that. And that's the difference. We were discussing that last night. We were talking about by the time it goes through 6 or 7 news agencies, the stories start to change.
Yeah, it
Because
evolves,
here
right?
it says that it was repainted. And
Correct.
so you're saying that they're saying
It's possible.
that's possible it was repainted. But here's the thing, in several of the articles, she said she couldn't see nothing. It was dark outside. So how did they know what color the boat was? In several of them, she said she couldn't see nothing. They couldn't see anything.
Now, I wonder about that too. However,
I mean, I get it.
depending on the moon that night, but even then, it's hard to say what color something is.
Hmm.
There's something called metamerism, which again, depending on the environment, what our perception of color is wrong. Again, I'm not going to go deep in the science of metamerism. The point being is, if there's no light, and even if it was a full bright moon, you still can't verify color. It's just her perception of color.
Yeah. And in saying that this child, is it a child right there in that specific area? Is it, somebody within the family? Is it a child of the actual person that did it? And if it's a child of somebody that they're really suspecting, I don't get all these people being arrested and nobody being found.
Well, the thing is, okay, this is if you guys pay attention, the first arrest, it's not okay, we've arrested 6 suspects. If you pay attention and if you follow the story, it seems like the number of suspects is growing. First there was 1 suspect, then there's 2, then there's 3, then there's
People of interest.
5, then there's 6. Now, you know what that tells me? That tells me that, oh, it's not me, it's him. And then they go get the next guy and says, they interrogate him like, oh no, it's not me, it's the other guy, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So, point being, if any of these if any of these suspects actually know something, then they're really good at hiding the truth. What I'm saying is, because right now, either they're hiding stuff from the public, which is very well possible. They already know the answers. They're just not releasing it.
Here's the thing, and I keep repeating this, and I keep receiving messages, and I keep hearing the chatter. They found several bodies when that one body was found. They said there was a clan fight. I think 1 or 2 papers covered the clan fight. It was not major news. And then they said that the one was some other official that worked for an official. So all of a sudden, the person that was found was an official, and they were sure that's who he was. Then there was another one that was in pieces, and they said they don't know. So many people believe that that's possible that one of the 2 of them could have been him or the other one. There were several that had floated on shore. But here's the other thing. We know they're pressing these guys. They've got to be pressing them. And I must mention, when they found that British couple, the Filipino and the British guy, they got them back right away. It doesn't matter ransom was asked for or whatever. They sent the boys in and they got the job done and they got them out. So the FBI's involved. They were there for X amount of time. They don't really have the jurisdiction. They can be here. They've got the they call it attaché, like a side crew that's here and everything. I get it, but why, with all of this and all the power, and why is it that the ex-mayor put up reward money to find information and then they've upped it? It's appreciated. It's not the amount, but it's been said over and over again. We've been contacted. Why hasn't the family got involved? If George disappeared, as much as I don't like him, I would still need somebody to make my coffee. So I'm still going to be screeching like an old get out. Oh, George. I mean, come on. I mean, we discussed that if, you have, grandkids here now, you have kids here, we both have families. You would have came from the US over here if, I mean, we would have done that. I'm not even saying we're rich. If I found out that, one of ours was taken over in the US, yeah, we're going to go back. I'm just not going to sit there and say, oh, well, let them find him in the US. And I'm just, no, I would want to be involved. Why isn't there? He has a bigger family. It shows vacation and all these things that's going on in his life. Why isn't there? As a matter of fact, we have an affiliate. We have an affiliate person in the United States that's contacted the radio, or not radio station, but the news stations that have done the stories, and they're like, "Hey, what's really going on? Why is nobody pressing a story?" Or we get it. It could be because of the election. I really think the election over there is taking over. I know it made it to, I think, Inside Edition. There was a small clip on it. But it didn't really, it fizzled out with a few local stations. And so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Now keep in mind again. Now I have nothing against America, obviously, because I'm with my American wife and everything, you know. But just to let you guys know, let's say they kidnap Heidi. Delta Force is not going to come over and rescue Heidi.
I'm going to rescue myself.
What I'm saying is, be aware that there's several levels of involvement of the U.S. government. For example, if
But why not?
Eastman was an actual FBI agent or an actual government official, then can they send Delta Force? Yes, technically they can. Then because now America
They
has
should, Jennifer.
interest, national interest or national security interest that they can be
But the
literally
British guy
involved.
wasn't, and they
I-
send people after him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's several levels. And then what Heidi was talking about, she was talking about at the advisor level or consultant level, aka they would send an FBI agent over and then they would coordinate with, the PNP,
Yeah,
which
but
is the
they
police
claim they
or,
have all, I
or
mean,
army.
the way
Right.
they're
No, I
talking,
got
the
you. I got you.
army, the pro nine, everybody's over there looking for
I
him, door to
understand
door
that.
operations. And I'm thinking, why don't they have some bamboo canes? I'd be, whoops, right upside
I
their
understand
head
that.
and all of that. I'd be painting them in honey and pouring ants on them. I'd be doing the whole
Like
nine
I said,
yards.
there's several levels. And again,
Uh-huh.
in
No ants.
the thing is in this case, I mean, I'm sorry. Whether you agree with me or not, this is my opinion. My opinion is I don't think Elliot Eastman is an FBI agent sent to uncover something like that. That is that speculation. I don't
There's
think.
a lot of different, yeah.
I think, and this is
Never
not
know.
in again my opinion. Okay, just my opinion.
Do
I
you-
don't think this is some insurgent group or militia that's taking him hostage for ransom. I don't think that either.
I think it's personal. I think it
Correct.
started at
And I'm
home.
pretty sure the FBI that came over here figured that out right away.
No, all the evidence is out there. It's now just starting to leak. Yeah, we're going to go back in and complete the rest of this before we actually get into it. Were we at that point? Oh,
No,
you're
no,
too.
no. No, it's yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and play that. That was already, we already went through that part of the child. We have to wait for it to play through. How do we lose it? Oh, because you put the other one.
Yeah,
out.
because it's
Sorry, guys.
it's very sensitive. That's why I had no choice.
So there's the thing talking about the child. All right, 2 more suspects. This was dated for yesterday at 7:21. There were newspapers that stated this, okay, and we're like, okay, they got more suspects. But officially, it was put in a major newspaper. We've been gathering stuff for about 3 days, and that's what delayed our live stream. So 2 more have been found. So they've got somewhere between 6 and 7 of them. Yeah. No, I have to read it, but there's a 2-minute delay. Okay. All right, authorities have identified 2 more suspects in the alleged abduction of American content creator Eastman in Cebuco, Zamboanga Del Norte. Police have identified 6. Okay, well, here's the thing. We've heard there were 6 the last time, correct? So this would be a total of 8 and no results. I'm telling you, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to tell
Well,
you.
that's another thing. Keep in mind that most of the news sources don't give you the total amount. They just say, "Oh, they got this amount today." So if you actually add them all up, yes, it would be 8 because they had 6 last time. Correct.
So he was taken on October 17th. 4 armed men. Now, I want to let you know different stories have come up in different situations. And one said they were in police uniforms, others said they were dressed in just black clothes, and some said that they just said that they actually were. Okay, so 4. And so on October 29th, the police took into custody 3 of 6 suspects who allegedly served as point men. 2 of the suspects surrendered while the third was arrested inside of his house in Cebuco. And I think later on I have a photo of where they found one inside of a cave, and I don't get it. I'm still trying to figure this door to door thing, and this has been going on now for almost 3 weeks. Door to door? I don't know. So, anyways, police said that the 2 residents of Region 9, their names and alleged participation in the abduction have been withheld as the search for Eastman continues. The same with the child and the outrage from Filipinos. They were really rough on their Facebook page because they're like, why are you guys hiding their faces? Because we've seen where they have not hid people's faces.
Correct.
They said they were due process and that they were not going to show their faces. And I thought it was kind of odd because the Philippines has no problem showing some people as
No.
roadkill
No.
when they fall off their motorcycle or
No.
a truck runs over their little skulls, but yet they.
No, trust
So
me.
we
Yeah.
get it. I'm still, my most curious part of the last 48 hours is what we seen this morning, that a child is talking. And I'm telling you what, loose lips will talk, man. And if you give them a lollipop or a popsicle or some sugar, they're going to talk all day long like me. That's all, folks. Okay, so here's some Filipino here. I can attempt it. It says, but it's translated further on. I'm not even going to attempt it. It drives George crazy. I think he understands. Okay. Where foreigners must not tread. Okay. So now that they got a bunch of suspects and they haven't been able to find the American, hey, maybe if he was like my size, maybe they'd found him sooner. Can't stuff him inside of a tree. Something like that. Me or Tim K's size or something. They weren't going to take us. They're just going to leave me and Tim K alone in this island. So where foreigners must not tread. Just leave Tim K alone. My boy. Okay. So you can take Georgia.
Hashtag leave Tim K.
Oh,
and
by
Heidi
the
alone.
way, for the side note, so y'all can like hush. I actually thought, speaking of size and Tim K and the boxing and everything, I just found out I've lost like 4 kg since February because I kind of slowed down on cutting back on stuff, but I guess still cutting back on some sugars and the extra coffees and stuff did something. I thought I had gained because of the steroids I've been on, but anyways, so I've actually lost 4 kg, which is what, 8 pounds. It's almost double. So I'm happy to find out that I didn't after another bout of steroids this month. All right. The capture of 3 men involved in the kidnapping of American vlogger Elliot Eastman in Mindanao is one of the rare occasions that prove Philippine authorities can take swift, decisive action when it counts, especially with a little proddling from the United States. They didn't prod them enough. Swift action. They have not adhered that honey and ant tactic. They haven't taken the bamboo canes between the toes. I don't get it. They wouldn't have any nails. Who's to say they still do?
Well, I don't know. I disagree on. I'm not talking about Heidi. She's reading an article. I disagree
Well,
on that article because honestly, when it comes to depending on the type of person involved, or aka victim, is an American citizen, honestly, usually the cops get on the case and they're usually hard on the suspects.
Yeah. It says in a country where crime victims go missing for years. Who went missing for years? Besides you one time
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
disappeared. Oh, never mind, on vacation. So, anyways.
I can't help it. Pokemon Go was addictive.
But they're mostly talking about crime victims. They're talking like Filipinos. I know that they say right now, and I don't have the number in front of me, somewhere between 300 and 400 Americans go missing throughout the world as far as kidnappings, abductions. Now, in the United States, they have the most abducted and missing people in the world. The biggest one that we had heard was Arizona.
Arizona.
It was kind of crazy. And
Right
did
in
I
your
see that it
backyard.
actually snowed in Arizona? We just seen our truck driving, vlogging friend over there.
Mike, I'm
Yeah,
told you,
it looked like snow on the ground. Could it have actually been in November in Arizona? I don't know. I've never been over there to know, but it was weird. So, in a country where they do go missing for years, from vanishing activist Jonas Burgos to the disappearance of Sam Burgos, cockfight aficionado. It's a little jarring to see such a quick breakthrough in one of a foreigner's cases with 6 suspects already charged in court, according to this new article. Half of them are subject to a manhunt. But here's
This is
the
from
thing.
5 o'clock this morning. Just let you go, no guys.
Here's my deal. I appreciate their hustle. It's everything is slow here. Bank accounts are slow. Grocery store lines are slow. Traffic is slow, but you're going to have somebody behind you say, move and get out of my way and all that because they in such a hurry. But things move really slow here. But we understand that if it's already been said a bunch of times that we don't feel that this is a kidnapping anymore. He's just been taken, or this is an inside job, or this is something personal. This is now officially, we said, more than 2 weeks ago, this is personal. Something personal is going on. For those that don't know, also the personal situation goes as far as she has an ex that actually wanted her back. I don't have the full details. It's been put in several papers, but in a nutshell, the ex wanted her back. There was something.
There's a lot of things going on that a lot of people aren't aware of.
Yeah.
We'll get into that today.
Yeah. And also, for those that didn't know, her photos on her 6 different Facebook accounts switched out from a school uniform, which we did prove in the last live stream. We might pull that video up today. And he said that he came back this last time, which he's been here for a year now. They say 5 months, but his TikToks and videos are consistent for a year here. And he married her a year ago. And he said he came back for his wife's graduation. And her photos previous to the newest was in uniform. So they're saying that she was extremely young. And it was an Islamic marriage. But besides that point, something personal went on. There is an ex possibly involved. Now there is family conflict that's been going on. Insinuations from him in front of a camera. He did not turn these cameras off. And it just gets stranger by the moment. But my question back to the whole situation of them working fast, I feel that they actually are, but they've had these suspects for a while. I don't know why they're just not saying whether he is alive or unalive. I'm still trying to figure. I now feel this morning, after we've looked through his case for the last 3 days, I think now they're getting ready to drop a bombshell. The fact that they put out a safety things and foreigners not to tread in areas. We said they would wait till after the holiday. We said that last week. And here it is. They're showing that we've fought the good fight and we're doing everything we can. And then whammo, we're going to get this. He's been gone. And it's kind of like, I have to keep going back to that little tuna can that was under the ocean, and it created meat soup and everything. I don't know how else to put it, but that's what you said. But the whole thing is the whole world was like, are they okay? Are they not? Oh no, they're gone. And it was weird. It was like at some point they were like, I wish this would just get over with. And I think there's like this strange actual situation going on, but this is the most oddest case that we've been doing this now for 3 years, live streams consistent for 2 years, and even with this suspect, after the Cebu club incident, we had people coming forward and talking to us. We've had people talking to us on this case. And then all of a sudden his case just went cold. I mean, yes, the guy was arrested, he turned himself in, but there was so many like page turning moments in that case. This one just gets stranger. Watch how, and I'm going to say this, look here in a little bit how creepy their wedding ceremony was. It was, I call it pico, pico.
Yeah, and again, like I said, the most important thing is what's worse. Like Heidi said, the Range 999 incident versus Michael. It just disappeared.
Nothing,
What's worse,
not.
getting forgotten and that's it, or like, hey, we need to bring up awareness, and that's the thing we're trying to do here. And
And we
like
have
I
some
said,
numbers here in a little bit. So we didn't have a chance to do this earlier because we literally were working on this up to this point. We will put all those numbers inside the description, and can't say whether we're important enough that anybody involved in this is listening, but do the right thing. If you guys know anything, I would actually be, let somebody know.
yeah, it's a good reward.
I don't
Just
know about
saying,
it.
if you're selfish, there's a reward for you.
Honestly, I don't think the reward is. I know it sounds greedy, but they won't give up their lives over there over giving out something over this American. It's 10,000 US dollars, and it took a ex mayor to put this money up. This isn't the family. This isn't, and his family appears to be middle class. Maybe they don't have it. I mean, it's hard to say, whether my family could actually put it up, but it took a Filipino over here. But we'll get, there's so much going on. We have the wedding stuff. We have a bunch of his statements coming up. Let's get through this and then we'll get through, Range 99, hello, PH expat prepper into the room. Uh, as we know, he was just moved from one jail to the other, and then all papers died. So unless you go up there and visit him, he's supposed to do life, but we haven't heard nothing. There's been no court stuff. There's been nothing. Me and George read the news and watch, the, to keep up with the news because of the actual. But let's get through this then. Yeah. No, I hear you, Mr. Glock. The U.S. government is more worried about killing the squirrels and raccoons than saving people. I just don't think they're going to. And that's the sad part. They got that British guy out of there. That's why I call bull crap on this whole entire story. But the lack of ransom demand for Eastman or even proof of life more than 2 weeks after the disappearance casts a Paul on effects to save him and bring the perpetrators to justice, as his fate remains a mystery. The American abduction has blackened the further reputation of Mindanao, and this is really, really, really going to hurt the actual tourism down there. Now, there's a lot of things that go into this, and a lot of the families down there rely on selling things and their restaurants and then just the locals. And I know that most of them go to areas like Davao City, but they do not, everybody knows where the red zone is. And the American, embassy has warned about it. Other Filipinos have warned people about it. You will hear there's just all kinds of warnings. I don't think he's been the only person that's ever been down there. I just don't get why he would stay there, but he didn't just a lot of people think that he just went down there and that was like his first time ever there. No, he had went back home at least 2 other times. He is a food delivery driver. That is his income. He gathers a bunch of money and then he went back again to marry her. So I think he's been out twice because after he married her, sometime a few months after that, I think he went to a wedding or went somewhere, but he went to Africa. And then he ended up going back, getting money, and then coming home, back to the Philippines. And he's been here for a year consistently because of the videos. And I'm just baffled by the whole situation. So All right. Many might reproach Eastman for not heeding the travel advisories. I was just saying, repeating the verbal warnings against staying out of a Sabuco town in Zamboanga del Norte, which he did. I'm going to let you know right now, the embassy has warned. He was warned by, I don't know, again, I have not been down there, but in a case like that, they said they warned him when he arrived. So, and it says here where he was residing with his Filipino wife, and they would not be wrong to do so, but the blame for the absence of peace and order should not fall on the shoulders of a clueless foreigner. What's clear is Eastman's abduction on October 17th was the consequences of a lawlessness in the region and the government's failure to protect residents and travelers alike. I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, what about the U.S.? You're saying, well, yes.
There's
Can
areas
you?
where
Yeah, but you can't. Can you really blame a government in whole for a
no,
person being,
the population's ever growing,
being
and
inbred or
well,
being
that has nothing to
crazy,
do with it.
or we don't know who
No,
these
no, no, no,
guys
no, no, no.
are.
The rule of law and order is
A few
you
bad
must
seeds.
have an appropriate amount of law enforcers for
And
said population, and we all know there's never, keyword never, enough law enforcers to catch up with the population, even in the U.S.
right, but I mean, if you got bad seeds, if something is in a small town in the U.S. and a couple people get stuffed in barrels, I'm not going to sit there and say that it was the police that were responsible for it
Well,
for not. I
I'm
mean, the
not.
guy
I'm
could
not.
have done it in his house in a basement, and they'd have never seen any of
Well,
it.
see, that's the thing. The thing about law and order, I get the bad seed thing. I get it, and it's not about that. The point is, you can have the worst criminal in the world, but if there's a cop nearby, he's still not going to do anything.
Mm. On top of this, I want to let you know that for months he kept saying again, at least I would say probably even a dozen times in his videos. We've caught it at least a half a dozen times. He said, "I'm going to be kidnapped. I'm not allowed to go outside. They won't let me go outside." And we have this footage here in a little bit, over and over and over again, which is really strange because in this up and coming video we have, stay with us on this, guys. He will actually say they're going to come in the middle of the night and take me. So you guys really need to stay for this one. But allegedly, the family told him that he needed to not be there. But there has been insinuations, unsubstantiated, that the family was the ones holding him there. But I didn't get that vibe, but I got the vibe there was some major tensions and he wanted to go home. And in this video we have, he says he wants to go home. He would, except for he's lost all of his money. He said he worked forever to get the money and it's a shame. But he says, oh, worst case scenario, I'll just go home anyways. And so let's get through this here. It was the family that was the witnesses. That's another thing that's been said. So, but until now, they have not received any information about the demand for ransom. Sadly, we still don't have any proof of life. And this is strange. All the people that were allegedly involved don't know if he is or not. They have to know. I'm sorry. They would have to know something. 6 different people and now a jabbering kid. Nobody knows. Okay, and here's another thing. Later, it all become a mystery whether it happened outside or inside the house. It just gets crazier by the moment. It's just saying here, Zamboanga commander said the suspects in custody have been directly in a participation of the kidnapping. So they're saying the ones that they have were involved. I mean, and they don't have an answer. You think they passed them off like a girl down on Walking Street?
Well,
I mean, they said the ones that they have. I want to make that clear. Is that they actually have them. It says here that Lieutenant Helen Galvez, the PNP Region 9 spokesperson, said that 2 of the 3 suspects had turned themselves in while the third one was arrested in the operation, all of them confessing to have acted as lookouts and they said and spotters during the abduction. We are still optimistic that he is still alive. Okay, and I want to let you know this is a recent newspaper thing. All 6 suspects belong to a crime group operating in Cebuco. And it's just saying they were common criminals, but a lot of people thought it was Abu Sayyaf. I don't think so. Here they are saying that. Um, and on a side note, they're saying that it's possible that her ex is involved somehow, some way. There's just a lot going on, guys. It's like a book. And this is just where they're talking about the U.S. travel advisory, about staying clear. Yeah, U.S. State Department doesn't want you going down there. Okay. So here on this page, guys, this is how you guys can contact if you have any information in the safe return of Elliot Eastman. And actually, I think they just want to know anything. I think a lot of you are afraid, or those that know, and I'm talking to Filipinos. I would think other Americans or Europeans would have said something by now, but if any Filipinos are actually watching today, this goes through Facebook. We've had a lot of views of these videos from Elliot Eastman. You think some of them are also ashamed if he did pass away and they know where he's at, or they knew that he was buried somewhere. They would rather just not say. It's
Well, again, odds are I won't say. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you don't want to say what really happened.
I would encourage you guys to, to say something.
Yeah, I mean, whether okay, like I said, it's not necessarily a government cover up, not necessarily. It's not necessarily a police cover up. But you have to remember too that it might be actually true that they don't know anything, and it might be actually true that they do know something but don't want to release anything, because it might be, if Elliot is alive, if Elliot is alive again, if they release some information, it may endanger him too. So again, are they withhold? We don't know if they're withholding information for whatever reason. I mean, again, he could still be alive, and there might be withholding information for his safety. You know what I mean? Or to catch who's holding him or whatnot. We don't
Yeah,
know.
because when they got the British people, there was a fight on the beach allegedly or something, but yeah.
Oh, well, kung sino man sa mga kababayan natin, please i-contact yung kung meron kayong impormasyon tungkol sa kung saan si Elliot o yung mga kidnappers niya, andyan yung contact po. Please itawagan yung numero para makauwi si Elliot Eastman safe and sound po. Maraming pong salamat.
He
Thank
has
you
a
po.
family, guys. He has, although we haven't heard on that side, and it could be for good reasons. It could be they don't know what to do, but it's still somebody's son. It's still, he has a sister and family, so it's very important. So very important. Yeah, it's okay. It's just showing some of it's been covered by many news stations, radio stations. Here's where they're asking them to help save him. This was put out by the municipality. This is on the scene at 11 o'clock at night, the day that he was allegedly taken. I want to let you know that the story goes the family actually was the one that told exactly what happened. I know they've been speaking to, other people, but it was the family that told him exactly everything. So showing at 11 o'clock at night. So it could have happened at 9 o'clock. So this right here is the casing that came from the actual weapon. I want to let you know we can't show the other scenes. You guys might have seen this already before. And this only pertains because at some point there were stories that he was out on the beach and there is showing some blood and everything. There was some inside. We can't show those photos. It was an extreme amount. That was extreme. That was at least that was an extreme amount. It was
Yeah, to give you guys a scale of an M16, that's an M16 cartridge, and an M16 is about the the thickness of a double A battery. Put it that way. It's about one. You get 1.5 double A batteries. That's how long it is, and that's how thick it is. An M16 is. So just imagine one of those going through you.
yeah. So and again, we have a statement from his wife to a news station, which nobody has heard at this point. It just came up in the last 24 hours. And her statement was, and he'll do it in Tagalog because it is a different translation, but the English really sounds bad. So there is Jessica Soho. Okay. Many are familiar with her. Okay. So, all right. So here's where she's actually covering a story, and it does the translation is kind of off on this one because it's in I can't, it's all in Tagalog unless you're gonna, like, I don't know if you can see that here. George just gets glasses because it's
American vlogger na napakasawa ng Pinay sa Zamboanga Del Norte, an American vlogger who married a Filipino, nawawala pa rin matapos kidnap ng mga armadong kalalakihan. Kalalakihan. Sorry. Still missing after armed men kidnapped him. Actually, oh well, that part is part of the story.
you can
That
go
part.
forward.
Yeah.
And Laura said, did they check to see if it was human? And a lot of people had that insinuation that it was actually. All right, so there it is in Tagalog. So,
Oh, well. Okay. So anyway,
so it's going to
Yeah,
read
so-
a direct statement from his wife as of yesterday.
now these are now this is from Kapuso Mo Jessica Soho. Jessica Soho is actually a very awarded and Philippine renowned news reporter, journalist, whatever. She's you know everybody's gone through the stages of from reporter, newscaster, and everything. She's gone through all, but everybody knows her. She has a very good what do you call that? What's the word?
She has a rapport. She
Yeah.
definitely trustworthy. So this statement came from the
Yeah.
wife. This isn't a newspaper making this up, but in the English translation, it really sounds opposite of the story.
It's a lost in translation is what I
There is a
would say.
lost in translation, but
So-
some of this is a little different than the stories that have been put out there,
Now-
in my opinion.
The reason why I'm going to translate to you guys again, because remember when a machine translate it, or somebody who's not Filipino translates it,
And Google Translate
it
does
won't-
most of it now.
it won't translate it properly. So I'm going to translate it properly for you guys, okay? And this is not from me. I'm just translating the way it's supposed to be spoken. Not, again, if you're a robot and you translate things, Filipino context is everything. And, that's what I'm getting at. So anyway, this is her words. Lagi ko siyang pinag-iingat kapag nag-vlog siya. I always warn him whenever he goes vlogging. Just be careful. Mahilig din siyang maglakad-lakad mag-isa. He loves to walk by himself. Nung gabi na yun, patulog na dapat kami. That night, the night in question, aka the night that they took him, we were supposed to be asleep. Bigla kaming may narinig na putok ng baril. Lumabas kami. We all of a sudden heard a gunshot. We ran outside. Paglabas namin, tinutukan kami ng mga armadong lalaki. Once we got outside, armed men pointed firearms at us. 4 na lalaki yung dumukot sa kanya. 4 men grabbed him. Hinawakan din nila yung kuya ko. Now, just an example, in the English translation says they touched my brother too. Although what really happened is they held
What's really going on?
they held her brother too. That's what
Ain't
it
nothing
actually
like a
meant.
diddy party.
Which makes sense. So it means
So
her
what they
brother probably tried to jump and go after him, and then they held him down. That's what happened. Hanggang sa nagkabarilan na. Up until they shot their weapon. That's what she says. Tumakbo palabas si Elliot. Elliot ran outside. Nakita ko lang na parang napadapa siya. All I saw, it seemed like he tripped. That's what he says, or napadapa, which means tripped or fell. Hindi ko nakita kung saan nabaril si Elliot. I didn't see where Elliot got shot. Just so you know, these are her words, okay?
Which at that point, I'll read the translated one here in a minute, but when it comes direct like that, it sounds as if she said, which when a story's told over and over again, it does change. Okay, just remember that. It sounds like she said he was shot outside.
Yes. No, definitely.
So then
Definitely.
how come that photo shows the bullet case in the house?
See, that's where we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so and she also says, hindi ko nakita kung saan nabaril si Elliot kasi sinira ng mga armadong lalaki yung ilaw namin. I didn't see where he got shot because the armed men broke our light. That's what she says. I don't know why they did that. Maybe just so they can hide their faces, so I'm guessing. Oh wait. Oh, there it is. Hindi ko lang kung bakit siya dinukot. I don't know why they took him. Wala namang may galit o inggit sa amin. Nobody's mad at us nor jealous of us or envious, depending on your translation.
Which is really
Well, the envious and jealous part, well, that's debatable. I mean, that's her perception. Keep in mind, it's a matter of perception. She probably thought, they're just still regular people.
yeah.
Now, this is interesting to note. Walang kasalanan yung asawa ko. My husband did not do anything wrong. The reason why I say this is interesting, walang kasalanan yung asawa ko. The reason why this is interesting is because why would she say that my husband didn't do anything wrong? Remember, according to the other stories, that these people were dressed up as law enforcers. So it's
Yes.
possible that's why she said that, because she's probably thinking like, why would they grab him? He didn't do anything wrong.
Where's the last part where she said about him? She wishes he returns alive.
I don't know. It's
not
not on
there.
this. Hold on.
Then it's not. It must have been cut off in that way. Then her last statement is she wishes he was. No, this is the English one. So I'll read you the English one because the last statement says, "I wish my husband was still alive." That's the last part that she put in there.
I believe she says, "Sana buhay pa yung asawa ko." It means, okay. See, that's a good example. Again, be careful of what you guys again.
In foreign countries, the translation
Right,
will be
in word of
really
mouth.
off.
This is where word of mouth kind of convolutes things. She says, "Sana buhay pa ang asawa ko." She actually said and means, "I wish my husband's still alive."
All right. So in English, it states that I always keep her safe. Okay. Which means him. I always keep him safe when he's vlogging because he also likes to walk alone. But it's night already. We should be sleeping now. And I'm adding one or so words in there. All of a sudden, we heard a gunshot. We went out and about. As we walked out, the armed men were pointing at us. Remember, we walked out. 4 men took him or abducted him. They also touched my brother. Chicka, chicka, bow, bow. Up to the one who was shot. Elliot took a run out. I saw him fall. I did not see where he got shot. Now remember, later they did say to the police he was shot in the leg. These are the reports that are, or the family did. I can't say it was just her by herself. I did not see where he was shot. I just saw him fall. I didn't see where the shot was because the armed men had destroyed our light. I don't know why he was kidnapped. No one hates or is envious of us. My husband is innocent. He's not rich either to do this to him, which later, that of course, it's kind of, I wish my husband was still alive, Carisha. Now, here's the thing. During all of his vlogging, he does appear to have money. I mean, someone would say that we have money. It would just be based on a few things: owning this, owning that, running the AC all the time. Anything where you guys don't consider it's flashy here in the Philippines, it would seem flashy to people out in what I would consider the country or province areas. He bragged about how much money he spent on inventory. He bragged about his Starlink. Brag. I got to remove the word brag. To me, him always talking about it. He was talking about how much he invested in building this. He was talking about how he was, and I'm going to put it out there, loan shark. He was loaning money and taking in interest. He was doing the 5/6s.
5/6, yeah.
Okay, which is against the Islamic rules. He was doing all kinds of things. So the fact he could loan out 30,000 to get back 35 or whatever he had bragged about, that's still loaning out 500 US. I couldn't loan out 500 US right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. I wouldn't take 500 out the bank just to start doing a business like that. So he goes back to the US. He makes a bunch of money. He shows his family home. All of his photos are available on Facebook. It showed how he traveled to Africa, showed him in a suit. The boy looked like he had money. So it's the statement of he is not rich. Yeah, he didn't have a lot of extra money on hand. He will, here in a little bit with the video we have, reveal that he'll keep talking. All my money is invested in this, why they're having a lot of disagreements. And so we're going to, we need to, I think the rest of it's small clips and into the video of their wedding is up and coming. So yeah, just let it play. All this is, I'm not going to read it. We went through this before. These are just articles that have been put up through. Okay,
There's the cave.
Yeah, somebody asked, did they really take a look in that cave? That's where I'm renting next. Okay, again, showing the FBI showed up. Okay, there is where it shows they got married. Why does this play a role? It doesn't and it doesn't. It does and doesn't at the same time. Age has been discussed. Again, the newspaper said he returned. The newspapers have stated that he returned for his wife's graduation. She was in uniform before they got married. And so there in Islam, I must let you know that once the woman bleeds, she is able to be married. In Filipino law, it would indicate that if they were legally married, they should have went down to the, you still have to file something. But it appears that what they actually had was just a marriage Islamically in front of God is what they did, because they do show this. So they got married almost exactly a year ago. So their technical 1-year anniversary would be up and coming here in a few days after Election Day.
Oh, there's the date right there.
Nope. And this is extremely odd, guys. I have not seen this play anywhere else. She's extremely young. I just want to pause it for a minute for those that don't know. When Elliot, how he met her, for those that don't know, as a fill-in, is that Elliot was talking to some girl that contacted him on Facebook. And we've discussed that, guys, when women reach out and contact you. He came here and got scammed for some money. And there was some sort of scam that went on. There is another family home, or the sister and her at some point, or the family has a home up in the mountains. I couldn't tell you what they call the mountain nearby. I don't have all of that. But he's going to be referring to a mountain area here in a little bit. I should have brought my filters from up in the mountain area. Okay. But that's where he said that he locked eyes with her. They have a whole video that I have watched in regards to how they met. The wife here wanted him to tell the story how he got scammed. He's not going to talk about it. Others said he lost substantial amount of money, but somehow during all the scamming, and he was leaving the other girl, he met her. And it was almost, he said, instant love. And then she goes through and says, oh, I don't know about it. I believe at that time she was still dating the ex that they claim might have something to do with this. But he had come there to see somebody else. Now, he had already left and come back. He made money, paid a 50,000 peso dowry, and for the wedding. You guys do see other photos, but this is the official ceremony. Extremely odd because there's like zero connection here. The family's just pushing them to say certain words, which I never heard anything. They're actually saying Christian marriage vows. With this ring, I be wed. That's not a Islamic wedding either.
And you make kiss the bride. Okay, kuya?
It's Christian. Yeah, they didn't even want to kiss. See? And I don't care if people, oh, she's Muslim. She's not hyper Muslim. I've seen hyper Muslim.
Go ahead, just go ahead. Oh, you need that?
All right, so this must have been the following day or sometime. I can't give you a date, guys. All I know is that was the actual ceremony that would have allowed them to knock the boots. Okay, that's all they needed to be considered married, with whatever was said in regards to their marriage. Now, there was problems in paradise because by the 23rd of November, which would have been less than 2 weeks, she mentioned they've been fighting. We just fighting, but when we don't say or separate, I can't see it underneath the emblem. That's the problem, the emblem. So she's just saying that she'd be missing him because it's I don't know. I don't know if he stayed up in the mountain at that point, if he went back to the US a year ago at some point. I know he said he had to make money. So, but they had been fighting. Who doesn't? I mean, in the beginning, but it seemed a little soon to me. All right. Also, this is just another one where she says, I'm pretending to be okay and happy, even though the truth is I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. So they were having some issues. This is a video that was showing a talk show where the girl was crying even though her life wasn't okay. And so she made her own statement above. Of course, we can't play it because it had a bunch of TikTok and royal, music. So I couldn't play it. So I wanted you guys to see the statement. And this is like the 6th account that I had found for her. And this is where her wedding video was from. I plan to put a lot of additional links in. We always do after the live. And there's another photo. Well, I want you to pause. I just want to address Laura real quick on family having life insurance on him. It's hard saying. Has this family been vocal at all? No, not here and not in the newspapers. They've had local news stations over there. There has not been anything vocal that the world could see. And I also seen something about kidnapping insurance. That's a real thing when you guys travel. Should you consider it? We can't tell you not to. I mean, it's like I said, 300 to 400 Americans disappear, kidnapped around the world. You just don't hear about them all. So, and then here again is shortly right after they got married. Tell me everything is all right, because you'll see in an up and coming clip. We'll just let the rest of these run through till we get to the the other footage. So she is extremely young, and remember that would make an 8-year difference in there. 18, 19, 20. He was 26. Yeah, 8-year difference.
Total, I mean, I built this waiting shed too. That costed like $15,000 just for this waiting shed. And the roof and everything. See, it's pretty nice.
He invested a lot of money, and these are live streams where he's telling the world and the locals, which it will broadcast to, what he's invested, and he did not hold back,
And then
guys.
on the solar, the Wi-Fi and the solar, I think I spent a total like 130K or something, maybe 120. Yeah, 130K, 130,000 pesos. Like being scared here. Dangerous people. I always have to hide. Gee, go down. Yeah, that's what our days been like today. The guy we lent money to, he returned our money. We lent him 21,400, and he came back with 23,500. Some little extra. We sent him back with 35K. Yeah, sure, he's seen a little bit extra profit off of this. Maybe in 1 month we'll have already.
He was charging extreme interest, and his sorry store, he did say, oh, here's where he thought he had saw people with
There's like 4 of them.
that were watching him.
4 people there.
Somebody stated that the conqueror church.
They were fishermen.
As long as I'm here, my life is still at risk, you know? Still at risk, that's a reality. My life is at risk a little bit here, for sure. Especially the area that I'm in, it's not even just the Philippines. It's like, this area that I'm in is like the most dangerous area, one of the most dangerous areas in the Philippines, you know? So, it's literally like the red zone area. So yeah, of course, I'm scared. Of course, I've been afraid. There's nights that I'm afraid. There's times I'm afraid. There's times that I'm not afraid. There's times that I don't sleep well, but it's gotten better, you know. In the past, I've had a hard time sleeping. Sometimes in the time, I just literally can't sleep. I think total, I mean, I built this waiting shed too. That costed like $15,000 just for this waiting
Is that
shed.
the repeat?
Yeah. Well,
And the roof and everything.
yeah, I think so. But it's only.
See, it's pretty nice.
Oh, you can see if you can. So I was
spent 15,000 pesos alone just on
tired
this
less. So
waiting
you can
shed.
go ahead and take that out.
Well, the problem is that.
And then on the solar,
Okay.
the Wi-Fi and the solar.
All right. Sorry, guys. Double clip.
Or something, maybe 120.
But at least
At least you can read.
subtitles.
Yeah, it's got the subtitles.
130K. 130,000 pesos. Like being scared here.
Oh no, there is some different stuff in this one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So what it was is I had multiple clips and put them together.
The guy we lent money to, he returned our money. We lent him 21,400, and he came back with 23,500. Some little extra. We sent him back with 35K. Yeah. Sure, he's seen a little bit extra profit off of this. Maybe in 1 month we'll have already 3,500 profits. You know, business. Go ahead, gone.
Yeah, 3,500. That's a lot for a Filipino.
Yeah, he said he charged 30% interest or 30% markup on the food at the store too.
Yeah.
This is the recent one we've been talking. This is very vital to watch this one.
And my guy has to like on the pipe and simple, so that's what I'm getting.
This ties into everything.
Now keep in mind this was live. So
yes, live.
He's saying all of this during a live broadcast.
video, please.
No.
Sorry. That was an accusation that the sister's been abusing her child. So during almost a 4.5 hour live stream, a lot of people have not sat through the entire thing. I see a lot of people watch the video, but this is the first anybody has spoke up that he is now saying a lot of different things in here. Including here in a little bit, he'll make an announcement that he can be kidnapped in the middle of the night. And isn't that funny? That is the story the family told the police, that they came and got him in the night and it was taken off. And so many things are actually starting to tie in. But he's saying that the sister has been abusing her kid and she's about ready to have another one. So
if they ask you for something, don't go there, okay? Don't go without. If they're asking you for where is this water jump, say, I don't know. Figure it the fuck out. And first, by the way, fix their store that you opened up. You need to tell them like that. Don't just go walk with them, okay? Don't just like follow them like a little minion. Say, I don't know, figure it out. It's time. Okay? You need to be stern with those people. Otherwise, they're gonna use you. They're gonna take advantage of you.
he's talking about the sister
You need to tell
and
them,
the family.
I have no idea about where the freak is our roof for our store, so that it's not getting robbed.
And they're there somewhere, right there
You
listening.
need to be straight up. Don't go walk around with them and look around.
I
Okay?
get
You
us
understand?
fighting is odd, but this is odd.
This is not good.
And this is in the same live, guys. I cut out some odd part where he's just standing around. He actually went looking for the sister, by the way.
It's not your fault that they don't know where the freaking water jug is.
I just want to let you guys know that throughout this live stream, she kicks back at him. Like, in other words, like if he says something or she says something, like he said something about, can I drink that? And she said no. And then he draws back like he was nervous or something. And because, again, we can't play the full 4-hour live stream. And at another point, he asked her to fix him something to eat. And so when she kind of grunted around, he's like, just never mind or something. So they were definitely, we're expecting a call from the bank today.
Yeah, not the bank.
And so she's pushing back. So it looks like they've been fighting for quite some time. So
Yeah, I mean, because remember, there's been posts that not everything's perfect in paradise.
And he has been coughing a whole bunch throughout several live streams and everything. With him living so close to the beach, there is issues with living there with the sand, the algae, things coming off the ocean. There's a lot of trash out there. He's shown several videos of it out there. And he's got a horrible cough and he seems to be sick. At some point, she was sick too. And he's saying there ain't been no water in like 2 days. So he's drinking up the Gatorade and the Profits and coffee, and I call it Red Bull, but let's see what he's.
I don't bring any water into our room. You mean the pitcher? Which one?
And by the way, most of the time he's cutting his own head off. That's not me. It's just the odd positioning.
From where?
Yeah, I don't know why some of the audio. Remember, he's running off a Starlink too.
You need to like press your sister.
This is your first time seeing this, correct?
We wouldn't be having these kind of issues. It's all right, you know. It's not our fault. She just opened up the bowl, half fixed it, left the hole open, and now she's not even using her honey, so not even like opening it up. You know, that's like just destroying stuff. She came down from the cuckoo, and we're doing our own thing here, and they're just trying to she's just like getting into our stuff, putting her shit in front of our Wi-Fi, taking half of our store, and then leaving half of our shit open. Like she's making a mess every place that she steps. And it's pissing me off. Okay? She's making me pissed. Especially the way that she treats her child. It's like you're gonna have another child and you're treating your child like that. You're gonna pop out another baby.
Yeah, he's
That's
saying
how you
it's
treat
a
each other.
live, guys. You don't do this
So
to
go
somebody.
ahead and pause
That's
on that for a thought on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get you guys have seen me and George go around, but I'm not sitting around on air because and like really putting out the laundry. I don't know if he's already said it. I've got a few things on my mind right now. At some point he'll start talking about how the house is dirty, how the toilet's in the middle of the living room and it stinks. How I don't know if it's in this clip, but in the live stream, he goes into saying that the Filipinos don't know how to put things together and why would they face and do this and why are they always doing things wrong. So he goes into not only insult her family over and over again, he insults Filipinos. And so he really, part of it might be in here, but if not, the 4 hour live stream is available. It's about the only one that he's got that's it's like 4 hours and 2 minutes long. But he really, really goes into details. Like at one point, she's shaving him on the beach, and I'm like, maybe they don't have a mirror, but she's shaving him. Linda, the cat's climbing. But a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Well, you were starting to say something before I interrupted you about just how he's ripping into.
Well, actually, the best word that Laura actually used, he's shaming his wife. He's not only shaming his wife,
the family.
he's shaming basically the family too. You know, the sister, the family. You don't do this in public or in, obviously in, social media. Now remember, this video is still up. I'm just letting you
Yes.
guys know it's still up. It's still playing.
Yeah, they can't take it down. It's this channel is in
So-
his name.
And now, regardless of what he says in the video, whether remember, nobody deserves to be taken, nobody deserves to be shot, nobody deserves to be ex-nayed for the stuff he says. I'm just letting you know. I mean, some of you, of course, may disagree with me on that one, but
Yeah, because Vivian said he got involved with poor, no educated family. They do beat their kids because that's the norm there, and they're living in a dirty shack. That's the people's mentality. He had nothing to do there. Yeah, there was a lot of boredom. Boredom will actually break down to mental stress and other issues. And it sounded like at some point they just turned on each other out there. It was almost like being on a deserted island, like literally. But this is really showing the other side that this was 17 days before he disappeared. There's been tons and tons and tons of speculations, even within the newspapers, that there is some sort of inside job. And it was the family that had told the story of him being. I mean, it's not like 5 or 6 different neighbors came out and said, hey, there he is being taken away. No, it was the family. It says the family told us what happened. And so you're talking, I don't know, there was a lot of people living there. There's a lot of people living inside that house. You've seen the group of them that were there that night sitting around, but they're all living in a house that's separated by thin walls. And
Well-
something happened. They were dividing the Sorry Sorry store. That was not said earlier on either. So, but yeah, there's more being said.
Yeah, but this is our problem. She's starting to become my problem because our store is available now. You know what?
Okay, so I cut it. That's the part where he asked for a drink that was sitting on the table, and she said no or something. He said, okay, and that's when he sat back. So, okay, that was a section I cut out.
Should be we're working on or she's working on fixing this right now. That's should be what she's
I
doing.
had a repeat of the clip. I wasn't sure.
You know, so things just got robbed last night. I don't know. Thinking
Oh, no, it's not.
Saying it to me too. Oh, so you guys are worried about me being kidnapped, right? Worried about me going 10 meters down the beach. How about the hole in our house that they can climb through? That should be something we're worried about. Come on. Let's think about it a little bit. You know?
You let me think about that. You let me tell somebody if you don't want to do that.
Was that-
No.
I didn't cut this because some of it was just odd.
Exactly.
Sarah.
That's my point. That's my point. We need to impress her because she's the one who's not going to do stuff. Because she's not doing a good job. She's leaving a house wide open. You guys are worried about my safety, right? Why are you visiting the most dangerous part of my life is at the nighttime, right? Inside this house is when I'm most scared. And then you're going to leave our house wide open so somebody can crawl in, especially now we have groceries.
Okay. Okay, so this is what gets me. Everything that he has said in this video is what is in the newspapers. Being, on the beach and outside, and
Well,
I don't
see,
know. A lot of this is
there's a
just
lot-
getting
that's-
creepy by the moment.
that's
Like like the family, and I'm about ready to insult the family in a sense. It sounds like their mentality is very short. I'm not saying they're uneducated. We have people stating it is an uneducated family. We don't know that. But it sounds like it would be a story that they would just tell based on their everyday life. How many times has this man mentioned, I'm going to be taken, I'm going to be kidnapped? Over and over. The little boy who cried wolf, it just happened over and over and over again. And now he just said exactly what happened. They're going to come in and take me in the night situation because of the hole. And at this point, this is all live. And also, he mentioned his store was robbed. He will then get into some inventory issues and 300 pesos being taken, and describing how he spent 40,000 pesos, or almost $1,000 for groceries. And he says next they'll take that. And I'm thinking, why didn't they take the groceries? Why would you take 300 pesos when you can grab 300 pesos worth of coffee? Because he's insinuating it's an inside job at that point.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's an outside job, they would have grabbed definitely product.
Mm.
I mean, if I'm gonna go inside a store,
Yes, Benny. Benny
might
G
as well
said
go
inside
shopping,
job.
you know what I'm saying?
So there's so much going on in process. So, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, why you dogging she's young? And yeah, there's an 8-year difference. At least. That was her 18th birthday, according to several sources, including her birthday cake. And her schooling photo was switched out for her wedding photo. She showed when she graduated. So it's all out there. So he married a young girl in a very poor family, and he's the one that invested in all of that. And they were fighting all the time, and things were bad. And at many points, he says he wants to go home. Here, he will say that in this video. Well, in the 4-hour clip. Now, whether I put it in here, this was,
Now, love is love. You find love where it finds you. Now, the reason why I said this is because some of you says, couldn't you find somebody in the U.S.?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hate to say this.
I doubt it. Not as a driver.
Well, and it's not that.
I bet it is.
I don't think that's the profile he's looking for.
Oh, he was looking for somebody to control.
Looking for somebody young.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm just
it's
saying.
still a young person, and I've heard several people pass this off and it's like, yeah, give the guy a break. Yeah, the guy is getting a break, and everybody wants him to come home. This is just a nutshell around the nut.
No, we wish him well, and we wish he's okay. But
something
this is
fishy.
This is hyper specific. This is not because an American adult male who's
26.
within normal faculties will not fly over to the Philippines to date
to
somebody
the red zone and
correct.
turn Muslim, which nothing shows he was ever at the mosque, not in one of his videos. Not once did he say anything Islamic. And that was not an Islamic wedding. That was a Christian statement.
Right.
With this ring I thee wed. It's just not what is said when you marry Islamically.
Now, again, I'm only answering the question of why he was specifically here. He still does not deserve anything that happened to him. He doesn't deserve. Nobody deserves that. But that's specifically why he's here.
And we get the age gap difference. What's his name? Silver Raven said he dated 20-year age gap. There is when she was underage when he met her. He's known her for since, I think it showed 2023, 2022. It shows there was at least a 14-year thing. And if she just turned
Silver,
18,
yeah. Age gap, there's no problem with age gap. The problem is when you go beyond, when they go on to the minority levels. That's when it becomes a problem.
according to sources and his own sources in the newspaper, he went to his wife's graduation. And so that would indicate he met her at 17. Is it okay Islamically? The answer is yes.
Now, legally,
but there is an
is it-
immaturity
is it-
factor.
yes, thank
Even
you.
he's
That's
not.
That's
mature.
what I was getting at. Yes, the
Some of
maturity
the
level.
things
Yes.
is
it legal? Yes. Is she mature? No.
Yeah. So let's.
Which could lead to problems.
And then the poor family and siblings, other family there. That had to be rough. And that's what I've been trying to say is it's not always paradise. And this business caused issues. The families will cause issues. I've heard 3 people this week. We've heard from 3 people this week that are having family disputes because they built either a place on the land or they actually live in a facility that's on family land or they're living in the house. These are the 3 stories that we've been messaged on. And all of them are bad ideals. Really, really bad ideals. It turns into some tragedy. It turns into extreme tension. And usually the wife is going to choose her family over you every time. And so with that, with so many differences, and then it's just rough. It's rough being in a multicultural relationship and living in another country. And it's just rough. That's all I can say is it just adds to more problems. And he actually states this is a total nightmare over and over again in front of people. He knew he was in a nightmare, and we've told you guys this. This guy isn't alone. Let's put Armstrong in there. Armstrong was going through similar situations of doing the building business with his wife that was doing different things. And there's a whole different story there too. Just like there's a third story, a third part to this story, 3 sides. And the Armstrong family is kind of the same thing. He says, I'm not in my own territory. So you are limited here. I'm limited here. If something goes south with me and George, I'm not exactly in a good position either. So it's, there's a lot of things when you go to a foreign country, you're going by their rules and everything else. But he did it in an area he should have never been in. And he was talking nasty about Filipinos. He was confronting and having confrontations and arguments with his wife. And this isn't the only video. He said that he was going to go after the sister, which you previously didn't see. He actually went roaming around the house like he was looking for her. And there's a lot to actually process. And this is 17 days before he disappeared.
Yeah, and guys, remember,
could be nothing, guys.
Don't take everything in context. Don't. What I'm saying is, for example, just an example, guys. Again, for example, Mr. Glock says my mom had me when she was 16, which is fine.
I had,
but yeah, and a lot of baby boomers, they have their kids at 16, which is again fine. But guess what? Most of the time, they're within 3 or 4 year age differences from their husband or wife. They're within.
We haven't hit
and
that.
they usually
I
live,
was 18 when I
Right.
had my daughter,
And-
and I married at 17 and a half
Right.
with my family's permission. But he was 19.
Yeah, and odds are they went to the same school or they live in the same town.
Was
We're talking
both
about
in the
a
United
guy,
States and my
who
own safety of my
flew-
neighborhood.
right, from the U.S. to a red zone specifically.
So we get it. And
Again,
it's
we're
not,
just answering why he was here, not
because I understand Islam. I
and
understand
it is legal.
how
It is legal in
I've
Islam.
been where there have been families where they had multiple wives. Some of them were extremely young, and we get, but there were other circumstances. This guy, all the red flags went out: the green, the yellow, the purple, all kinds of colors of these
Right. Now,
flags of
and
just.
that's another
But
thing
red flags were
you
everywhere.
guys have to realize too.
Orange, gray.
Some of you who are in the West right now who's watching have issues with that, which I understand. Some of you don't. Again, remember it's legal. However, culturally, remember
And in another country.
you're in a
Jeez.
different country. What do you think the locals think of you?
And
when you
Americans
do this,
are not seen in a good light.
they'd be like, wait a minute, he's a foreigner. He's this. How old is he? And he's taking our women from us?
Bragging about loans,
You know what I'm saying?
and raising the price by 30%. And it's just, I couldn't imagine, but I'm like, but one American does not speak for us all, but
Correct.
it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. If I act a fool, and I have acted a fool in my life, they're going to see every American walking down the street right now exactly the same. People cannot separate that stuff. They still stare at Americans a certain way.
You're still
here.
a foreigner.
Well, still a foreigner, but I think they think Americans, even the British, have feelings about us Americans. Even
Kulas, who is
Germans.
now a Filipino citizen, will always be treated as a foreigner.
Oh,
Well, put it to the extreme.
babe, I'm talking about Americans. Americans are big mouths. Americans have some sort of snootiness. We have certain ways, and they do have us down and pegged as a certain way, just not foreigners. Foreigners are foreigners. Americans are just really different. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Sorry, I can't help it. I thought that was funny.
Oh, he was the red flag. I'm
Yeah,
telling you. Okay,
Laura
let's
said
get
he was
through
the red
this
flag.
because
Sorry, Laura, that was funny. I thought.
because this was an entirety of like 18 minutes because he doesn't stop. So I'm sure, but we'll let this play, guys.
Exactly, that's my point. That's my point. That's my point. The big deal there is my life, and now we have a big hole in our house. And that's okay. You guys are worried about me going 10 meters down the beach during the day. I mean, it's not a big deal. That's not even dangerous at all. I'm not worried about that. You guys are like worried for no reason, 100%. And then it's not a big deal if there's like a huge gap in our house that somebody
There's
can
a
crawl
big
through.
hole
in the middle of
and
the
there's
night.
a ladder on the outside.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Why would somebody do that? Yeah, I don't know if this is. Okay, this is where he had already walked to look for her.
I'm not about to freak out at your sister. I literally feel like I'm gonna freak out at your sister.
I'm gonna freak out on her. He's just not talking. That's why it's.
You just think about it. Even when you want to close, anyone close the store at night. This one. So how about there? You still have to worry about somebody taking your stuff, and we're not counting our stuff. So even somebody takes something, we don't know. Just like this, our soy sauce. So
Let me count my soy sauce, man. 300 pesos, and nobody took any of that stuff that's worth $1 a can for me. I just took all that crap off the shelf, man. 300 pesos. This guy robbed me. I climbed up here for that. Whoosh. Oh, jeez. What are you looking to see? That's toothpaste and toothbrushes. And he does that in other videos. He goes through the inventory.
Crawling back in tonight. You know, if that's what's happening, I don't know. I don't want somebody crawling back in those things.
Always talking about being taken, and then he was taken. So which is it? Did he put the thought in people's mind? Is that just the story that the wife gave because he said it so many times? Maybe they did something to him, and it's been said so many times.
Actually, yeah, that's the thing.
The consensus is out there.
It's kind of, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
He's been saying
which
it
one
at
came
least a
first?
dozen times.
I mean, did it happen because he kept saying it, and then they're like, okay, well, this is what we'll do then? Or
did the boyfriend come up on shore, her ex-boyfriend, and then something bad happened between them, and they said, well, we're going to have to do something, or could it have been that it was something in the family?
Well, it's one of those, he keeps saying this, well, if we actually do it, I'm not saying are you saying
it's like the cheating scenario?
I'm not saying the family
I keep saying,
did
George,
it,
have you been
but
cheating
what I'm saying
on me?
is,
Have you been cheating on me, George?
No, that has nothing to do with it. I'm talking about okay, if I'm a criminal, okay, and there's this, for example, this vlogger that I want to target, that he keeps saying this certain scenario, wouldn't you copy that scenario?
Well, that's what I mean.
That's
He's
what I'm
copying
getting
the
at.
story. The family might have been copying and telling a story. But my curiousness is nobody's catching. I mean, they didn't sit tons of people down to watch every entire thing. And I'm not saying we're detectives or the best of, what we're doing, but even all 6 of her Facebooks have put together a partial story. And it's what's up? So there was some sort of tension. So whether this all put him in danger by somebody that was watching him, something inside or in the town, there was still town, guys.
Yeah. Now,
That's where he went looking for the sister. So I sped it up to show you he's looking for her. I ain't even kidding on this one, see him? But I just muted it because there was some talking and it was like a 3-minute clip. I didn't want you guys
oh,
to
he's
sit through
hunting
anymore.
her down. Huh?
I told you. At one point, he pushed through a door. He wasn't really saying anything, so I just sped it up. And there was like scuffling noise. So I'm just showing you he said
Oh,
after
yeah. So what do you want to do? You want to tell father?
he said he
Ask
wanted to
father
get
for
physical
help
with her.
because
Oh,
this is my money. So this is our money. Can you finish the breakfast? Yes. Thank you. No big deal.
I think she said she was finishing her breakfast.
Oh, there's coffee. Yeah.
Yeah,
You want some coffee? I think that's what she said.
No, I think she said, "Can I finish up my breakfast?" He said,
Oh.
"Confront father." She said, "Can I finish my breakfast?" I think that was her saying something. Unless she said, "Finish her coffee." That's not her breakfast.
That's what I'm saying.
And it could have been coffee and something else.
Should be dealing with this. Like I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
yeah,
I
it's
don't want
hard
to
to.
wait another night because we don't know if something's gonna come in here.
Yeah, because you can't see it because
So especially we're gonna need to put something here on this door, like that temporary. One. Yeah. Or there and or there.
I don't think I duplicated any clips. Like I said, it was hard. It was a 4-hour thing, and I could only upload so much at a time to edit.
Yeah, that's the problem. So it's like now I can't sleep at night because of what you just done. Just open up the walls.
Yep, he was afraid then. I can't sleep.
That's another thing. Why would you broadcast that your house is not secure?
Somebody, yeah, it's been said.
Why would you broadcast that? He kept broadcasting it, saying
They come up and over and inside. Yes.
like, hey, let me tell you how to break into my house.
Yeah, and this wasn't like Gilligan's Island where there was only one hut. Like literally there were people in that area evidently. He also said in several of his videos he would talk about his Wi-Fi through Starlink, which does speak of money, especially in that area. And he said that he makes 10,000 pesos a month or 200 US dollars is what he's making off of Starlink. That's a lot of people because I think he said he charges 5 pesos for 2 hours or 10 pesos. It's something unreal. It's not even 50 pesos for 2 hours. So think about what it would take to make 10,000 pesos. That means he's doing a lot of business. Everybody that came up during his lives or that came up, he just tells all of his business. He's really out there with all of his business.
Did you want to address that?
Are you still with that girl flirting with other men? I don't get that.
That's the other lie.
You can. I don't know.
No. She's just mentioning the other, or I believe probably the ex-boyfriend, maybe.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Well, just I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
I've got a lot in my head right now. I've been watching stuff for 2 days. I'm a little.
No. I got you. No, that's
There's a lot going on.
I'm gonna keep playing.
Yeah, just go ahead and play it. Yeah. We can't. We weren't supposed to address people, and this is. We're not gonna.
She came down from the mountain, and now she's destroying all of our stuff. With the roof, everything's wrong with the roof, bro. Everything is wrong. Maybe actually costly on it. Don't even know. I don't even ask you. Fucking nightmare.
Mhm. Yeah, he was really.
That one guy said, "What's wrong with the roof?" I said, "Everything. It's a fucking nightmare." That's true. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this place is an absolute nightmare. Even I fixed the roof here because of freaking all our solar charge controller, inverter, batteries, all getting wet. I fixed the roof, right? I paid money to fix the roof, put in new metal and everything, and it's still the same. Still dripping, water's coming, dripping in. Like, that's why I call it a nightmare, because I don't even know what the hell is wrong.
Yeah, he invested in a hellhole, literally, guys.
And
And
then
I
we got a
don't mean
hole
to
here for
insult the
anybody who
family.
wants to
Why?
crawl in anytime at night and take some groceries. Like, feel free.
Feel free.
Right?
Feel free. He just told people, feel free. And somebody's like, dude, why would you say that? I don't understand why.
Sanity.
I don't get it.
Look, there's a kid going down there. Or swimming, surfing.
At some point, he said the water can get up almost
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
that's
house
hilarious.
next door.
Actually.
Well, they're right by the water, literally.
Look,
You
look
can
at
see
that.
yeah, you see that? See, that's just the water right there.
And we don't know if that's low tide or that's probably low tide, but he says it has been up to the store.
Yeah. There's
But
the water
there's the
right there.
coconuts.
That's what I'm saying, Peter. I don't even know.
Small. I think
Like,
that's
this
where
shit,
the
it just has me
coffin-
so high blood here, man.
There's different things that can cause
Every day it's something. Like, you're trying to start a business. I'm trying to have a business here, but everything, it's like the world is against you.
the
It's
world.
like the whole world is just like against you. It's entirely.
Well,
Like, how do you live like that?
Location.
So why didn't he leave? It'd be like that here in English.
Hello, Ellie
I
and Ty.
People
And
think
Natasha.
it's super easy to live
They're
anywhere.
going out surfing. I guess they're not scared.
Others
That's
make
funny.
it look easy.
Ellie and
Say what's
Natasha.
going on. But there's always adjustment.
Do you, bro? Honestly, maybe Philippines would, I don't know where you live right now, because friggin' maybe it's like that no matter where you live, but I don't know, dude. Yeah, this view's good. It's not bad, dude. It's nice. It's a nice area, for sure. You know, obviously there's a lot of like garbage on the beach and stuff. It's nice, but you know, always having some sort of something going on here. But the waves sometimes will come up to here,
So there it is.
and we got this Wi-Fi here, so maybe I don't know. It's gonna get wet. Got this hole in the wall. Times are shit. I feel like that's kind of true. I think that's kind of true.
I don't get it. His entire life savings has been put into this project. That must be a real special lady.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
George would spit on me if I was on fire, and I'd be
Yes,
lucky to
ma'am.
get Jollibees once a month. Thanks, babe. This man gave his whole existence and lived out there. You wouldn't go live at the Holiday Inn for a day for me. True story.
Anyways, it's frustrating. Can definitely frustrating. Last night we had somebody, like, we had our money box over here. We had our little money box here because we're selling groceries and stuff. And it's sitting
Somebody
here,
took the money box.
right here.
But
And I don't know if somebody climbed up through this wall or like
took the money
came
box.
through
None
here.
of the diapers, no,
So maybe,
nothing.
but like 300 pesos were missing this morning. You know, like somebody took our money out. So like I was saying, because like this needs to be covered, especially like maybe it's dangerous if somebody coming inside has a bad plan to do to me or whatever. We don't know, you know.
There it is
So,
again.
like,
Same live stream. Somebody has plans to do something to me.
oh no.
No, my husband didn't have any enemies, so how come 100 times in the last few months did he
It's not a bad idea. I
say
mean, I would
nobody
just be
likes
like very
me?
wary, like
Nobody wants me here. People are after
you're
me.
gonna do
I'm going to be
because
kidnapped. No, nobody
I would,
likes
yeah, depending on where you are, like Wi-Fi is nice. Like I've been having this Wi-Fi business, so it's cool because we have Wi-Fi in our house, and also we can collect an income at the same time. But you know, I was kind of thinking like maybe if I were to do it again, I would just freaking save my money and just use my money that I had saved to pay for my extensions. Like I could have the amount of money I spent on all this solar and the Wi-Fi machine and the whole everything. Probably could have paid for my extensions for like 3 years, especially if I got a residence permit.
Could have.
I could have, I could have paid for a lot of stuff. But it's sometimes it's nice to make an investment. Sometimes you'll get your money back or like make some extra money on your investment. But everything else. So obviously you can't really make great either.
Yeah, he's just saying you can't make it here. So he thought, like many, that he can bring his money and he was going to make a bunch of money. But he also had
Honestly, maybe that's the funny part of life. Like
love.
everything feels
Live
like
on love.
everything is always in the way. And maybe if you can find like a little bit of light in that fact, like everything is in the way. Like if you can find a little light in the fact that always something in the way, then that's where you find like fun in life. Like I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe that's just it. You gotta find the light out of all those little fucking things in the way. But right now, being here,
Yeah. So basically, he does have a positive outlook, although we've heard him go, and I would just call it bipolar, like where he's okay this minute and that minute. He's just showing all of his emotions through the live stream. But understand it's a live stream. So he has, before he started, I think he had 1,100 subscribers, X amount of people on Facebook. And if since, I think the one video has, I said it earlier, 16,000 views for a live stream. That's a lot. That's extreme. So a lot of people have watched him since. At that time, he probably had 3 or 4 commenters. So he is talking to the people that come in and question him. And some of the questions that come up were kind of strange in some of his live streams. But he was trying to see the positive in it. And believe me, I struggled the first few years. I've been here officially over 3 years. And I now I'm at the point as I love being here. It's the country of my husband. We have the family, people are nice, but you have the good along with the bad. And now I'm just to a point like I've accepted that the environment that I'm living in is what I'm actually paying and that I am in another country. And the sooner you realize that and try to adjust and adapt and it's like fighting the ocean or something when the tide is coming in, is what was happening to me, would be a good example when I first got here. And I'm telling you what, I was practically clawing at George when I first got here. I was like, I didn't realize it'd be this hot, and it would be because prices were going up. And then we were locked down for a while because of the pandemic. And so there was so much going on, and I could not imagine being out there in his shoes out there. That's like taking it 5 times more up the bum, the way he was living. I mean, so they'll take it right up the shooter. I mean, that's what was going on. I mean, here, this is paradise where I'm living now compared to what he was. We're talking, it was really rough. Total boredom, water out for 2 days. I mean, there's a lot going on. I would go nuts. All those people around for the Wi-Fi. There could be 20 people out there, just random people sitting outside your door while you're trying to take a nap, and you're not going to get your investment back on a sorry store.
Not sorry.
That's an all-day thing with the internet. I bet she's out there 12 hours a day for $200 a month. Welcome to YouTube, guys.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they're probably out there from 8 in the morning to 8 at night selling Wi-Fi, like taking money and going back and forth. It's sorry stores are an all-day job. Add the Wi-Fi thing in that he kept open. It's hard. I'm just saying he put a lot of hours in it for probably $300 a month. He would make that in 2 days back in the U.S., and he does mention that on and off in his lives. It was the definition of total insanity at this point. And he knew it. They warned him. He said the family warned him. And, man.
Yeah, now part of the warning, and something he keeps repeating, hole. You guys are wondering what that is, right? Actually, Sarah Tyson actually addressed it. She says, isn't that space normal in a house without ceilings? Correct. See that gap right there? I always say, when you rent a house, always look up. Make sure it has a ceiling.
Well, some of them aren't that wide gap. That is the outside of the home where they added the sorry store. So I think the gap is bigger.
There's usually a gap.
Well,
no matter what.
And what I don't understand is they divided it, and the sister has a store on the other side or something going on. And yes, it's a live stream, Sarah, because further down she did
Yeah.
address that it appears he's addressing
Yeah.
somebody.
yeah.
But yes, it's a live stream on
Rent
a
a
phone.
home with a ceiling, and some of you will say, "Well, don't they take out the panels and they can still climb in?" Yes.
Yeah,
However,
he is
if
talking
you
on
don't
the phone
have
to
a
someone. It's
yeah,
texting. Yeah,
if
it's
you
a
have a
live stream.
ceiling, there's usually a cover outside where they can't see the structure. But if you don't have that, because there's high points and low points of the wall. Anybody who's done, I haven't done electrical work. I've done networking, which means I went through a lot of people's ceilings. There's high points and low points of your wall when it meets the roof, and basically, in a structure like this where there's no covering, anybody from outside can just walk around your house and say, "Oh, I can climb through there." But there's certain areas they can't. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good point.
And especially this is a new culture and everything. There's so many things that I'm running into the way with, like a bathroom smells like so bad. Like nobody, it smells like so bad, right? So that's one thing. The other thing, the roof is leaking, getting all over my investment, getting all my things wet. The other day, my inverter just broke. That costed $100, so that's broken now. And then last night, somebody stole our money from our store. And now these waves are huge coming in. Like, if these waves get super huge, maybe they're gonna come up here and splash up on this Wi-Fi. We don't really know, but I don't know, dude. Sell the business, man. I tell you what, I've thought about that many times, bro. I've thought about that many times. But you know, it's hard because you're talking about selling a solar panel, you're selling a battery, you're selling a light machine, you're selling all these individual parts. Unless you can find somebody that's looking for all this stuff, yeah, it's possible. I can sell it. You know, get my money back. But as far as this grocery store goes, yeah, can't really. The only way I'm gonna sell that is I'm selling it like individually, basically. Something like that. Much easier. Just yeah. So, yeah. Not really sure how long I'll be here for. So yeah, it's like
I don't know how long I'll be here for.
I
That
really
was
want to
17
be with my
days.
grandparents around some people, and it's like I don't like having I don't like having tension in my life with other people, or like you know, and that's what I feel like I'm having right now.
He doesn't
Yeah,
like the
so,
negativity. This was 17
maybe
days. He
soon
was
I'm
talking
gonna
about going
pick up
home.
going back. You know,
There it is.
because I want to be here with my wife too. But like,
Ah.
at the same time, I really want to be with my grandparents because they're like the nicest people in the world for me. So yeah, not really sure. I'm sure about that. It might depend on like if this income stops coming from my Wi-Fi. Like right now, we're making maybe like less than $200 a month on our Wi-Fi.
A lot.
Like grandparents are in Vermont.
There's many months we don't even
Yeah,
make that on our
my
YouTube.
grandparents are
There
in
must be
Vermont.
like a whole gaggle of people out there.
I was gonna address that too.
Oh, well, he also talks about a budget of $100 a month too, but that's not in here. By the way.
Correct. Don't take his word as Bible, because there's a lot of things that he says that are questionable at best. Now, keep in mind that goes against him because if he overestimates his income, this is what he broadcasts, and this